Okay, Sebastian, thanks for your feedback. I'm just going to ask a few questions back, and I'll use this video format if you like it. I think it helps. So the first one is just on the batteries. What I wanted to note is that basically, if we take the overall development as, say, 250,000 watts, so 250 kilowatts, and for the 50-volt DC system, that gives us a requirement of 5,000 amps being able to be produced cumulatively by the DC system. So that would be 5 clusters with the ability to have batteries and equipment able to produce 1,000 amps, or we could have the 8 clusters, as I've shown there, with a lesser amount, like 625. Okay, so it's important to understand that the rationale that I tried to explain is that we only need the batteries to provide 10 to 15 minutes initially, okay, of backup, after which time they will call up the generators when their state of charge reduces beyond a set percentage. That's the rationale, and the reason for that is battery clusters are expensive, and so we can increase them in the future if we want. So I wanted your comment on that, and also whether 5 or 8 sounds right to you, or which one you'd go for. So that's that. Sticking with the clusters, I also wanted to ask, yes, so thanks for noting the Sunny inverter. I did have it there, not the Sunny Boy. But is the Sunny inverter the right thing to use? Because it's quite a small inverter, and we end up with like 40 of them if we have 8 clusters, or 30 if we have a smaller amount. So is there something bigger? That's my question number 2 that we should be using, something bigger than the Sunny Island. Your transfer switch, yes, and this is out of scope of the solar project, the transfer switch, but how it's meant to work, and I haven't actually shown it correctly on the schematic, is that these are actually going to be interlinked, and in actual fact, in reality, these form one panel. So you have a gen sync panel, and the generators come onto a common bus, and this is a interlocked breaker with the main supply, and then that would actually feed onto the multi-cluster. So I hope that answers that question. What I wanted to ask on sensors is, yes, so it's fine. I mean, all of these, we know the Sunny devices, SMA devices rather, will work. Here we have deep sea controller, okay, and it'll probably be an 8600 series, and I'm assuming that can talk to the SMA hybrid controller. Is that right? So this package will come with the current and voltage sensors. It has to, because it's part of a synchronized generator panel set. What I'm not clear on is the CTs and the VTs on the utility side. Will those outputs also go straight to the Sunny hybrid controller? I'd like some more information on this. I'm not 100% sure how that works. So I think that's it on the schematic. And then I'd also appreciate your comment on the layout. We've put the tri-powers at the ends of the array, and they're mounted, under the panel. So, they'll just be sort of outdoors there, and we assume that's okay because they're IP rated. But any comment from you there? And the reason we've done that is to keep the plant space for batteries and the rest of the inverting equipment and control equipment. And this plant space is basically about 4.4 by about 7 meters. And in your experience, does that seem sufficient? So yeah, I think those are the questions for now. Thanks very much.